Hello, everybody. Welcome to our interview. Thank you for joining us. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Chaz Neal, who plays for Florida State University, and he's going to introduce himself, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Hey everybody, I'm Chaz Neal. I play at FSU. I'm originally from Tampa, Florida. I'm a redshirt sophomore, actually a junior, graduating next year. I play offensive line here, going on 3 years here. Can't wait for the interview. Thank you for having me.
What has been the best advice that your coach has given you, and who was that coach specifically?
The coach, when I came in, it was I can say there was two coaches. When I first got recruited, I got recruited by the great Jimbo Fisher. He was my coach. He was my coach that recruited me. He told me when I was about to come here, he said that come to a school where you believe that, if you got hurt, you would still want to be there. But the fact of the matter is I was already sold because I was a Florida State fan since the age of 9. So it's like I was already sold. And I already like the brotherhood here. I like how the coaches and everything treated you.
Yeah.
And then based off of that action with my coach that brought me in, Coach Taggart, which the switch of that, he basically just told me, the brotherhood is just here. It's like, it's family. I've been knowing Coach Tag since I was 5, so the connection there, it was also, there. And then our new coach, Coach Norville, he's all about family. So it's like, if a coach can show you family and he shows that he cares about you, then, that's the best thing that, you can do and come to.
Yeah, that's some good advice. So if there were high school football athletes who were looking to play for FSU or another program, what would you suggest they do to get on a coach's radar? Like if they have a specific school in mind?
Well, the first thing that my coach told me in high school, and I give it to him, this was when I was in a sophomore and a junior, is Sean Callahan. He was a head coach at Armwood High School. They always, my mom and my pops, and I thank them for this, they always harped on my grades. Always, because when the coach came in, they would ask for your grades. How's his grades? Because they want to see if you can retain information, if you can apply it in the classroom, because when it comes to plays, you have to retain it and apply it on the field.
Right.
For me, my GPA was through the roof, so that was the first thing. Next thing is, he passed his test scores. The test scores, boom, you pass that, then they ask you for, how they know how you play because you're already on their radar from that part, from football. So it's like, you do good in that, you do it in the classroom, you'll be on the coach's radar. And then they also ask everybody in high school, when I say everybody, I mean everybody from the cafeteria lunch ladies to everybody, how are you as a person? How is your character?
Wow. That's awesome. So they really went out of their way to make sure it was about, grades and character. That's really, really encouraging. That's really cool.
They don't want to. I feel like they don't want to back somebody that doesn't have a good character.
Totally. Because life's about more than football. So your character lasts. That's really cool. So what would you say, like going back to the academics, what would you say has been the hardest part for you about balancing football and academics?
Well, my freshman year was just like time management.
Right.
So I was like, when I came in, I was like, okay, let me see if I want to go party and everything.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, it's not for me. And, so I think like the end of the summer, I just stopped partying. Because my major was business, now it's economics. So with my major, it's more than, just partying all the time. You gotta be focused. You can't party all the time in economics. It's not worth it. Now, I'm not saying don't party and don't adventure in college, but if you're an athlete, it's coming to your grades, football, and trying to make it in, this so-called world we live in.
Right. No, that's awesome. That's really good advice. Thank you. So, and you might not know this off the top of your head, so I can go back and take a look at it if you don't know. But are there like any like grade guidelines? Like, do you have to have a minimum GPA or SAT score, ACT score to play for y'all, or like to get into FSU in general? Like, what did that look like for you?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's a 2.0 to stay on the team.
Okay.
And you can easily get a 2.0 in college. I mean, it's hard. When you first get in, it's like you're taking easy classes. So it's like your GPA should be through the roof when you first get in. And by the time you leave, it should be able to maintain between a 3.0 and a 2.5. You shouldn't drop below a 2.5.
Okay, yeah.
Depending on the major. But for me getting into the program, I know I had to get like a certain requirement on my SAT and ACTs. Mm-hmm. I ended up passing my SATs with like 1,100.
Okay.
You know, that was one of the happiest moments in my parents' lives.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And my ACTs, I think I got 24, so I think I was good there too. So that pushed me through with my grades, because I think if you have the higher GPA, the lower you can score.
Mm-hmm. So true. So true. No, yeah, that's awesome. And then switching over to football talk, should athletes, specifically football players, at the D1 level be prepared to like come in and possibly be put in another position, or are you often recruited for the same position that you're going to play? Like, does that make sense? I don't know.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to play, you just got to put in more work than the person that's starting over you. Because when you get recruited, you're trying to come here and take somebody else's position.
Totally.
So you got to put in more work than them. You got to know the plays off the top of the head. Coach asks you, oh, what's this play? You got to know it like that. If it take you like more than 3 seconds, you don't know it yet. So that's something like me. I got to go back, get my plays done, review them all the time, just so I can know them like that. Because it's like you got to retain information fast, and it's studies and football, workout, studies, football. That's stuff that you got to keep doing. So it's like, I mean,
yeah. But, no, that's awesome.
But like you said, if they want to come in and they want to come in and start right away, you can't party like that. You can't. I mean, party after you get a win. They start party right. You get a win. But if you're trying to get in 3 years, graduate, get out, you got to come here and just handle business. Totally.
Yeah, work for it. You do. That's awesome, though. Thank you for that. So now, and you kind of briefed over a little bit in the beginning, but why FSU? You said you were like a big fan and you really like the coach, but what are some other reasons as to why you picked FSU?
All right. So my story, my guidelines. So back, I was born and everything. My family was more geared to Florida. I personally, I was lured into that because my uncle went there. He went there back in, I think, 85. So he was a wide receiver there.
Oh, cool.
And, it was like, oh, yeah, Florida. Both of my families was Florida. My dad was a Miami fan. My uncle was a Miami fan. So it was like, I knew I was going to go to school in Florida, but I didn't know where I was going to go. And then I think, I was like 9. I was like, what? I heard that word chant, and I was like, yeah, I feel that in my spirit. So, that's something I want to do.
Awesome.
And that's why I started liking. I just started liking Florida State. I like the brotherhood here. I like the camaraderie we got here. I like the coaching staff. Looking out for us, making sure that we are right. Like our coach says, it's either 1% every day. How are you going to define yourself when you come in? When you wake up, are you going to be the best person? Or are you just going to be, that regular person? Are you going to show that you about it being there? Or are you going to be drowsy and it's like, oh, here we go again. We got to do some more work.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really, really cool. It sounds like a deeper relationship than just playing a game, which is really important. So that's really, really cool. Okay, and you mentioned that you redshirted. So what were some of the reasons that you decided to do that? And do you think it was the right decision? Like, are you happy you did that? Or do you have some regrets for that?
So I redshirted. I came in because originally with Coach Fisher, I got recruited as a defensive end.
Okay.
So I didn't know anything about my position. I didn't know how to play it. Only thing I knew how to do was do field goal, and I played that my freshman year. So that's why I ended up redshirt. I didn't know anything about my position. I barely know how to do a kick step. I worked on it before I got here, but when I got here, it totally changed. I think my kick step has changed like 3 or 4 times since I've been here.
Wow. Okay.
It's like always perfecting your craft. Your kick step's gonna change until you get that one step is like really, really comfortable for you. So
Totally.
I mean,
yeah.
So
growth.
my coach felt like, me redshirting is not bad, because you can still go 3 years, but
right. Exactly. That's awesome.
We had like a whole bunch of linemen, so
yeah. Okay. That's awesome. That's cool. Okay, so if you had to pick 3 and only 3 characteristics that you need to be an FSU football player, what would they be? Like if you had to narrow it down. Stumped you.
Yeah, you did. I feel like one would be determined. I feel like another would be perseverance.
Yeah, that's good.
And then the last one, sacrifice.
That's good. Haven't heard that one before. Yeah, that's awesome. Because that definitely makes sense.
So that's 3 I have. And then our coach is the 3 characteristics for our program is service, sacrifice, and respect.
That's really cool.
So you gotta have those characteristics. You have to service people. You're going to sacrifice every time we do something, and you just gotta have respect.
That's really cool. So when you were getting recruited, I know you said that you always had wanted to go to FSU, but were there any other coaches that were kind of pressuring you to like make a decision, like for their school or not? And if so, how'd you handle that pressure?
So like I said, I didn't tell you when I committed, but I committed my sophomore year.
Okay.
I came here, Coach Jimbo Fisher, he recruited me. I committed on the spot because it's my favorite school. I blew up on social media, boom.
Okay.
The whole if and F. But yeah, I had other coaches come to me. We went to South Carolina, they offered me. I went to USC in California, they offered me USF, Florida.
Okay.
Alabama offered me as an O-lineman.
Dang.
And I think that one and Florida was like the 2 ones that really pressured me because I had a cousin behind me that was an O-lineman. He's going to Bama, and he went to Bama.
Okay.
So I feel like they wanted me and him in the same facility. I would love to play with my cousin, but
yeah,
I feel like we were gonna go in 2 different directions.
Right. Your heart was set, so that's really.
My bad. I did get pressured by Florida.
Okay.
Florida's offensive line coach. I don't know if it's still the same one, but I think it is. John Hevesy. He came to my high school, dressed in everything Florida. And as crazy as they pulled me out of class, and I had everything FSU stuff on.
Oh no!
Top to bottom. And he was like, I came to the front office like, is somebody called me up here? Yeah, Florida's coaching there. I was like, oh yeah, cool.
Ooh.
Do I gotta go in there? He was like, yeah, you gotta go in there. So I went in there and talked to him. It was like, this was the time that Coach Jimbo left, and they were still trying to find a head coach. So people thought I was gonna flip, and we had the number 1 recruiting class. But when Coach Jimbo left, the class fell, and I think it was only like 3 or 4 of us that stayed. That was in the 2018 class still from the 30 that was committed.
Wow.
So I did what I did, and I talked to him, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I have family that went there, but that's the thing, I don't want to go there because I don't want to live up to my family's reputation, my family's levels of records and stuff. So
yeah,
I want to do me. I want to start my own legacy somewhere else.
Yeah. Good for you. So communication is key there. So dang, good for you for standing your ground though, and going where your heart felt was right. That's really, really cool. So are there like any like showcases that an athlete could go to get on a D1 coach's radar, or is it all like word of mouth or both? Like, I know you said you blew up on social media, but what about for other people that might not?
I would definitely say you can go to rival camps. You can go to that's a one way to get rated.
Okay.
Rival camps. In high school, you can get stars. So any 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, 4 star, 5 star. 5 star being the best, 1 star being the worst. But you get those stars from camps. I mean, rival camps, Nike camps.
You say rival, like R-I-V-A-L.
Rivals. So it's RIVALS.
Okay.
So if whoever watches this, you can go to rivals.com and you'll see everybody that gets rated. They do ratings. 24/7 Sports does ratings. Those would be people at camps. Especially, it's a dude named Josh Newberg.
Okay.
He runs 24/7 Sports, and he's one of the people that runs it. So he rates a lot of people. So he'll be at those camps. There's a lot of camps that you can go to. I would definitely say if you're like a wide receiver or any skill position, DB, cornerback, defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball, 7-on-7 camps help a lot. You can get those offers, 7-on-7 camps.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say college coaches look at social media? And if so, what could stop a coach from recruiting a player based on like what they see on social media?
Yeah, I love this question. So for me, I always thought like, what if my parent would see it? Would I want to post that on there? So that's what I always think about. If a coach sees you swearing on social media or like doing certain things, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be a problem child. We don't need him at our
Right.
thing. So think about what you put on social media. Think about if your parents was to see it, would you put it there?
Yeah.
And if it is, if they would be okay with it, put it there. If they wouldn't be okay with it, they won't. Because the thing about it, when you put it on social media, it's in the, and then you delete it, it's in the air, it's in the cloud. So when somebody wants to find something and you get drafted, they can pull that up and your draft stock can go down really quick. So it's like, what? Think about what you put on there before you do.
Because it is wild. It is everywhere. Even if it's deleted or it goes down or whatever it is, someone could always screenshot or find it somehow, some way. It's in the universe. So yeah, thank you for that. Okay, this is my last serious question, and then we'll have 2 fun questions. So for my last serious question, what would be a red flag a recruit should look out for when going on an official visit? Like something that they see and they're like, oh, that I shouldn't come here. What would that look like?
Wait. So you're saying like a recruit comes, he visits and everything, and it's like a red flag for them? So like me being a recruit?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. So if you were a recruit and you saw this on your visit, you'd be like, I can't go here. Can't do it.
Well, I would say, if you go out, and, the team's not gelling, or I would say like not together, it's diverse, or it's a lot of like smoking weed, drugs, stuff like that, or stuff like that. If the coaches are not really engaged with you, you talking to a coach and he talking about another athlete, and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's huge. No, yeah, those 2 are like huge. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Thank you. Okay, so now our 2 fun questions. So first one is, okay, if you had to constantly fart or constantly have a runny nose every time you were on the football field, what would you choose and why? And you have to pick one.
So if I would constantly fart or constantly have a runny nose
on the football field, so like practice, games, whatever it is,
which one would I pick and why?
Yeah.
All right, I'll say fart.
Okay, and why?
Reason being, we're in the open. It's really, really loud. It's really loud on the field, and the person in front of me that smells that, and the people down the line on defense, they'll be so focused on the smell that they won't be focused on the ball. So the ball
Yes.
height will be able to push the ball downfield.
Right. That is so funny. I love it. That's a good answer. You catch that dove while you fart it up. It's like a secret weapon. I love it.
Exactly.
That's so funny. Okay, and the last question, you might need to think on this one a little bit. I was like trying to think for myself, and I was like, I don't even know what I would say. But what is the funniest thing that's happened to a teammate or you or anyone you know on the football field? Has there ever been something that was like, oh my gosh, that everyone thinks about and laughs about looking back on it?
I think it's just, a coach on our school is like, it's never a dumb question, but it'd be some dumb questions. Like
Yeah.
some people just be asking some random dumb questions, like they know the answer to, they just want to be heard.
Right.
The response of it, like, it's just funny. I mean, yeah.
They ask it, and the whole team like turns their head and be like, bruh. Like, that is so funny. Like, no. That is so funny. Well, I love it. Okay, so that is all the questions that I have. Is there anything you want to add or say, or no, you don't have to? I feel like you covered a lot of it.
I just want to say thank you to your organization for having me be here as an interview. It's so important to reach out and communicate with y'all, just meeting new people, networking. So, I mean, I really appreciate it, and thank you for having me.
No, thank you. You were incredible. You answered like everything we were looking for and more with some really, really good advice. So thank you so much for joining us. And thank you guys for watching too. I hope you guys learned something and felt encouraged by Chaz's story and all his advice, because clearly he is in a good position in college athletics. So thank you guys all for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.